Based Krennic? Alright, Meow. Back at it on Tuesday. Hope you've had a good day so far. That if you were or are at work, that it's going well. And that you can enjoy some Pokemon content and some Palace Cats, as they are quite adorable. We got to Cerulean Cave yesterday. There's a back-to-back battle with no healing, then a double battle with Giovanni. Off to Claire, 2 rival battles, Victory Road, then Elite Four. Got a lot of really poggies fights to make our way through, and I'm definitely worried about some of them. I'm also still trying to figure out whether I want to do Ice Lorelei or Rain Lorelei. On one hand, Ice is weak to fighting, so that kind of makes sense, you know? But at the same time, I have to deal with an Aeolan Ninetales that casts Aurora Veil, which reduces the damage that Ice Pokemon take in snow. A Slush Rush Glaceon, which doubles its speed in snow. A Snow Warning Slush Rush Obama Snow Mega. And everyone and their mom having Blizzard, along with mons like Spectreer, Glacier, Calyrex, and Baxcalibur. Whereas the only fast mon, thanks to weather in Rain Lorelei, is Mega Swampert with Swift Swim. So I feel like I'm probably going Rain Lorelei again, only because I don't want to deal with the extra fast mon from Ice Lorelei. That being said, I don't exactly have a solution for Mega Swampert yet. I definitely could try to change the weather, but there's also a Primal Kyogre that, well, there's Kyogre, so as soon as it comes in, it's gonna be like, so permanent rain, and that's usually when the Swampert comes in. So I would only be able to change the weather prior to that point, and then after the Kyogre dies. So usually I end up having to just fight through the weather, even though I couldn't do it last time with Blaine because the fire moves were just too strong with the weather up. All right, so back to Cerulean Cave. So ideally, we have a Lucario. We're gonna go Flash Cannon because Mammoth Swine is weak to that. We have Inner Focus so we can't be faked out. We have an Air Balloon so we can't get hit by Earthquake. If I go Aura Sphere, I'm worried they just swap into, into Mimikyu because Ghost is immune to fighting. We have Iron Hands, Assault Vest to make him tankier. Quirk Drive doesn't really matter. The big thing is the Plasma Fists, the Rock Slide, the Fake Out, all that good stuff. Stanky, aka Annihilate, that's for the Durant. We can't be flinched, so we don't have to worry about Iron Head flinching. Drain Punch and Earthquake. Mainly Drain Punch. Actually, let me see if Stinky gets Fire Punch, because that would be 4 times effective at least. I feel like it's definitely gonna get Fire Punch. It's a shame that Rage Fist is still bugged, but you know, one of those, maybe in 4.2 it'll be fixed. I mean, I could use Blaziken for Durant, but the issue there is I don't have Inner Focus, so I'll get flinched. and then I'll like die. Not very ideal. We're not gonna outspeed. I think I'm gonna get rid of U-turn. All right, let's make that work. All their natures are okay, I think. I might have to change stankies. Yeah, okay, so we need to go up defense because Durant is oopsie doopsies, all physical. So that would be impish. Sneasler, this is for either Hatterene or Mimikyu. I need to make sure I actually have a poison move. We do. We have Dire Claw. I won't be able to fake out the Mimikyu. Meownwell. Photosynthesis doesn't really matter. It's more the fact that I have Earthquake. That's going to do a lot of work against what's-his-face, the Mega Houndoom. We have to hope we don't get flinched. I think I'm gonna give myself Endeavor. Maybe that will scare the Houndoom into not like getting me super low, because I would outspeed it if it goes first. Then I get to act, you know. And then this is a special Blaziken. Seems weird, I know, but I'm gonna need that to deal with several Pokemon, especially Mega Meownwell. So now that we ran all that through, let's go. And now I more or less have all the Pokemon I need for Elite Four. I still have to determine whether I'm gonna bother fighting Price for Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf, any of the choice items, they lock you into the move you used, but they give a bonus. So Scarf is a speed bonus, Specs is special attack, Band is attack. That being said, it's not great being locked into a move if you don't have to help it, especially if it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use Earthquake on this Mon because it's steel, so it's weak to ground. But then you get locked into Earthquake and it swaps into a flyer, and it's like, well, shit, you know? And even with fighting having an advantage over ice, Price wouldn't be a pushover. None of the fights in this game are pushovers, in my opinion. So I don't know if I really want to fight Price for the Scarf. Okay, so we're gonna save, because as soon as you take a step forward, you get ambushed. There's no healing between the fights, so you have to hope that you have enough people in a good place to come out on top in the second stage of the fight. We're gonna save again. I wanna click Aura Sphere, but I'm worried it's just gonna go into Mimikyu, so we're gonna go Flash Cannon. Steel super effective against Fairy. Okay. I can flinch. That's huge. Back wave, we kill. Okay, good. So far, not bad. We wanna go into... Hold on. We wanna go into Stanky for this. We're gonna hope that it goes Home Claws instead of Iron Head, because we wanna get like a free action off, you know? We're never gonna outspeed it either. All right, so what did you do? You went Superpower. That makes sense. I'm glad you missed because it wasn't effective. So we're gonna go Fire Punch. It does Home Claws, that's fine. It's really tanky, so it actually might end up living. It did live. Not ideal. So, +1 accuracy. It can hit us with, I think, X Scissor, Iron Head, or I think Crunch. Fire Punch again. We can't flinch, but boy, that took us really low. Okay, let's see what's gonna end up coming out. Yeah, obviously it failed. Okay, Mimikyu. Ghost is weak to Ghost. So this is very likely a Shadow Sneak. We're gonna go into Sneasler. Okay, play rough. I can't fake out, so we're gonna go into Dire Claw. Breaks the disguise. Oh, nice, we got the poison. It does eat the Lumberry, which is very cringe. We're gonna Dire Claw again. This is gonna be an issue. Okay, I'm trying to think how I can do this. Oh boy. I'm probably eating a play rough here. I really need Meownwell to be alive still for the Houndoom, so I may have to change who I'm bringing because no one else basically has priority moves outside of Lucario and Iron Hands, which none of them would be able to hit it because it's a ghost. Okay, so not great, but I needed Meownwell for Houndoom. Okay, so this is probably anything. I'm gonna click close combat and hope I don't die. I feel like I'm gonna though. Yeah. Great Tusk has no defense. No special defense, that is. All right, so what are we doing here? Iron Hands, we're gonna fake out. We're gonna, it's going first. So we're gonna click some Drain Punch. Thankfully we have Assault Vest, so that helps. All right, so this isn't ideal because I think, no, Lucario is still alive. Okay, good. So Lucario will come in first against the Hatterene and will Flash Cannon. It'll probably get Trick Room off though because that is a Citrus Berry and it's special defensively tanky. If I had a attack Steel Pokemon, I would be in a better situation to hit the Hatterene. All right. So we go Flash Cannon. It's probably it's gonna live, and it's gonna get Trick Room off. Oh, Mystical Fire. Okay, I'm glad to be wrong. That's good because it granted my Poison Mon is dead, so that's kind of an issue. Pizza Place. I much appreciate the lurk. Good luck taking care of the things you have to handle. Thank you. I appreciate the well wishes on the fights. We got to the second phase on the first try, but I may not have enough Mon to get through it. So I think we're gonna go Stanky. We are faster. We're gonna go Shadow Claw. Swaps out Rhyperior. I don't love that. Rhyperior is an issue because that has weakness policy. And it's very defensively tanky. But I think this Drain Punch will do a good bit. It did nowhere near enough. That's kind of a problem. So this is not ideal. Oh boy, this is not where I wanted to be. Hate it. All right, so not bad, but sadly we didn't get there. Okay, so let's run it back and see what changes. That was better than I thought. Great Tusk may not be able to come in because I had to use it prior to Houndoom, and it's meant to deal Houndoom. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We swap into Stanky. We go Fire Punch. We High Roll. That way we don't actually get hit. We're in a better place than before because Stanky actually took that damage. Well, Stanky's high roll on Fire Punch killed it. We want to go into... I mean, honestly... Okay, I don't love that, but I think we're gonna be outsped. So we're gonna go into Sneasler, play rough. We're going to Dire Claw. Not ideal. Okay. Houndoom. It's gonna be random move. We're gonna go into Meownwell. That's a huge problem because I need the damage and the burn reduces my damage. On the upside, halfway really isn't that bad. So we're gonna fake out. We're gonna fake out into Drain Punch. We didn't get burned. That's huge. Okay. So we still have Lucario, but Lucario's about to go down. Yeah, not ideal. Okay, Stanky. We're gonna go for Shadow Claw. Goes into Rhyperior. We're not gonna try to fight Rhyperior with Stanky. This is not great, mainly because Iron Hands is just gonna die to a ground move. Yeah, that's not fun. Okay. I mean, I can get some health back, but then the problem is weakness policy. So we are still faster. So that's better. But I'm like dead here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay, so I think Great Tusk comes out, and I think maybe Iron Hands comes out. At the very least, Great Tusk is 100% coming out. Okay. I'm fine with Sneasler. I'll go Koba Berry, aka Flying Super Effective Berry, and we're gonna hope that that's enough for when it gets to that point. Instead of Earthquake, we're also gonna give it, I think, Rock Slide. Let's see. If it doesn't get Rock Slide, we'll go with Thunder Punch. Okay. I feel like Sneasler can learn Iron Head. I'm not sure though. No. But okay. So Great Tusk comes out. There's not a lot of special attackers that are fighting. Think I'm also gonna remove Sash on Sneasler since it's not taking me down to 1 and consuming Sash. So Unburden is not triggering is kind of the issue there. Okay. So yeah, Meownwell, you can stay in the box for now. Who are we bringing out? Part of me is tempted to bring in Crabominal to deal with Houndoom. Not Houndoom, Honchkrow. But it does nothing about the Rhyperior. Okay. I did think about bringing Gallade into this. Yeah, options for special fighters are very limited. I'm gonna bring in Como. That's a special fighter. Granted, it doesn't really change the calculus for dealing with Honchkrow, but I'm hoping Koba Berry given to Annihilate plus Thunder Punch will be enough, you know. It's definitely gonna take a few tries. I do like that. We're gonna get rid of Sandstorm for now. Save. Let's run it back. We also have an ad in 40 seconds, so we'll see if we get past the first stage before the ad procs. Flash Cannon. Vac Wave. Flash Cannon. I'm sadly probably dead. Yeah, so that's not the answer. We're gonna restart that, and we'll pick it up after the ad break. Grab some water, grab a snack, do some stretching or something. Save again. All right, see you in a bit. All right, Meow, and we're almost back. Okay, let's see what else. All right, Meow, and we're back. Let's continue throwing our face at this fight until we get there. I thought going into this it was going to be easier. Once again, overestimating one's ability, underestimating the strength of the enemy. Feels bad, but we're going to get there. I'm going to change it up and go Aura Sphere, and I'm going to see if that baits out Mimikyu. It does not. All right. Same outcome realistically. Okay. Kind of different. We go into Stanky. We low rolled the damage. This is not feeling good. Yeah, that's a problem. Cause now I'm not gonna live against the Haunch Crow. Okay. This is not ideal. Okay. We'll get the flash cannon off. Yeah, so we cannot let the Mimikyu set up. That is regrettable. Alright, let's see how it goes down this time. Flash cannon. Vac wave. The disguise, it's so much, you know? Yeah. This is an issue. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I can do differently. Okay. I have nothing that breaks the disguise ability. There, in the sense that there are some Mon that have a move that will bypass it. I might actually change who I lead if I can't get past this Mimikyu. Okay, Durant, Stanky, Fire Punch. Okay, we broke the disguise. We need a clean swap here. Dire Claw, Dire Claw. We're gonna go into Iron Hands. We're gonna fake out. Drain Punch. Okay, not bad. Lucario still alive. That's huge. Flash Cannon. We died of Mystical Fire, not ideal. We go into Sneasler with the fake out. With the Dire Claw, that changed the calculus. Hatterene didn't instantly swap out into Rhyperior or Honchkrow. But there's Rhyperior. Not a fan. Close combat does a lot of damage. Sadly, it did not do enough. Not having Mach Punch. I really wish I had Mach Punch right now. Okay, so we have Como for this as well because of the priority move. And Rhyperior has no special defense. Apparently he had enough. That's not ideal. Okay, this is probably Sucker Punch. I mean, it could be anything. I think I'm just gonna go Vac Wave and try to get some chip damage in. We're going to fake out. Nice. Okay, Mega Mile. Play Rough. Play Rough is gonna do some dummy damage. I think I need to let Iron Hands go down. Yeah, not ideal. Please be enough. It was huge. Fucking love it. I did the streamer thing where I do the these are the hopes of the world and I need it, and then it happened. Okay, so awesome. Now we're off to the Giovanni fight, which is you and Lance versus Giovanni in a double battle. And while double battles suck when you have an AI teammate because you only get to bring 3 Pokemon and the AI is not always the best, there's been several instances where it's come down to Lance and his Primal Dialga, and that clutched it out. So I would much prefer the fight to be 6 of my Pokemon, but if I have to have an AI teammate, I'll take Lance over Brendan because Brendan is trash the one time he fights with you. And then when you fight him again, he has an action replay team with like casual Jirachi, casual Deoxys. It's shenanigans. So for this one, we're leading with probably Quaquaval because I want a Defog and I want a U-turn. Mega Gallade because fighting and psychic, and then maybe Urshifu because dark. That'll be good for the Mewtwo. Oh yeah, and the Mewtwo comes back to life as soon as you kill it, and it gets to Mega Evolve, and then it gets to act right away. It feels broken. I think they said the level cap was 81. Let's bring out the Mon we're tentatively using. There's a lot of ground, so we're definitely not bringing Iron Hands. No Como-Os either. No Stanky. All right. So yeah, Quaquaval. We're gonna lead with Quaquaval. We have Gallade. Since I don't feel like leveling up Urshifu, I'm just gonna bring in Pangoro. And then if we bring a dark fighting type, it's gonna be Urshifu, because we already used Pangoro in Mono Dark. It having Bullet Punch is kind of nice, it having Iron Fist and Sucker Punch as well. So we lead with Howard. We're gonna use him to defog to get rid of Psychic Terrain, since Psychic Terrain prevents priority moves and it powers up Psychic moves, especially Expanding Dong, which don't want that. Okay, yeah, 80 is level cap, all right. So we'll update the level cap after we beat this fight. I do like Sacred Sword, mainly because it's gonna be boosted by Sharpness. And I'm gonna keep Shadow Sneak because I need a priority move. Dark fighting is still weak to fighting, so we'll give Pangoro a Chipotle Berry. Mega Gallade, extremely powerful, big fan. If it's not enough, I'll have to go a Resistance Berry because I need to make sure that it actually doesn't die. And if you're holding the Mega Stone, you don't get to hold a Resistance Berry. Galladite, very good. And then Howard, we're gonna go, I'm not sure yet. Probably Psychic. Let's see, it's probably gonna be Flying. I think there's more Flyers than Psychic. Let's see. It's actually even. I might just go Citrus Berry for generic healing. I know Taro hates that, but Game Freak be a little silly. Think we go Aqua Step over... Actually, no, because I'm not staying in. So let's make that be... Okay, so defog, I think it's like 40 something. That gets rid of the terrain for us, thankfully. And if there were hazards like Stealth Rocks, it would get rid of it too, which would be really nice. We're gonna keep the U-turn. I'm gonna gamble and get rid of Aqua Jet. I think Wave Crash will be fine. I don't need Leaf Blade for this, so we'll go... We'll go Night Slash. That way I have a second option against the Mega Mewtwo. And then Pangoro. Yeah, that's realistically fine. Actually, no. I'll get rid of knockoff, and I'll either go ice or thunder because I need a way of dealing with Celesteela. Yeah, we'll do that. The Celesteela is special, and in this they made it so ice moves instead of freeze, it does frostbite, which is an analog to burn, but it reduces special attack. Okay, let's make this work. Save so we don't have to do any of that again. Go team. So you're first, you're second. It doesn't really matter, but it has to be done. Okay, so we expect Dragapult to Spirit Shackle the Tapu Lele and kill. That allows me to first turn defog to get rid of the terrain. And then we're gonna try to U-turn out against the Scrafty to pivot someone better in. It'll be interesting to see if Mewtwo comes in now or if we wait and it's gonna be like someone else. Yeah, not a big deal. Okay, Excadrill. What does Dragon Ball have? I think Dragapult is gonna go in on Excadrill. Is Excadrill Sash though? It is. So I'm gonna U-turn out against Excadrill. Oh, it doesn't do enough damage. I was hoping it'd do even more than that. Okay, so at least we broke the Sash. Who do we want to come in? I think I'm gonna bring in Pangoro. Okay, not ideal, but we still have 2 more dragons. I'm expecting Excadrill to go. Excadrill's actually quite fast. So we're gonna Sucker Punch the Excadrill. Body Press, not bad. Drain Punch, that's fine because it's not me. Mewtwo comes in. We don't like that. I'm going to Sucker Punch the Mewtwo. Aura Sphere. I don't like that because Primal Dialga is very powerful, and if Primal Dialga goes down, that is very much going to make it harder on me. We eat our Chipotle Berry. Might be Aura Sphere. Now we're gonna Sucker Punch again. It's the only way I can outspeed the Mewtwo. Yeah, that's not ideal, but Mewtwo is almost down. Mewtwo is down. Mewtwo is the scariest Mon that they had. We have an ad break coming up in a minute. We're gonna go into Howard. Howard. Close combat is 4 times. Fighting in general is 4 times effective against T-Tar. Huge. That leaves Celesteela. We're gonna go Wave Crash. And that was probably the cleanest Giovanni 3 I've ever had. Hell yeah. And we got it in before the ad break. Ad break starts in about 10 seconds. So I will see you all when it's done. Grab some water, grab some food. We'll be back shortly.
CEO of you.
All right, Meow, we're back. While we prep for Claire, Legal Eagle put out a video on the United Healthcare CEO assassination. It seems to be a pretty polarizing case because there's a bunch of people calling him a hero and defending him, his actions, as you know, moral and brave, to the point that I think it was the governor of Pennsylvania was like, don't praise him, he's no hero. I watched this video earlier today, obviously not on stream. We're gonna watch it again now. And it's an interesting case insofar as the prosecution is very much gonna be able to prove that this was murder, that this was first-degree murder. It was planned, it was premeditated. He attempted to evade capture for a while before I think he eventually turned himself in, but all the elements are there. So the only, like, quote-unquote sticking point for me is, are they gonna be able to find a jury that actually wants to convict this guy? Almost everyone in America, I think at some point, has been screwed over by the insurance company, and maybe it ends up being like a bench trial or I mean, I think the defendant can opt into a bench trial. I don't know if they can force a bench trial upon him, but if I'm like a potential jury member, or I'm a jury member and I'm on this case, I wouldn't convict him. What he did was wrong legally? Yes. Do I care? Not really. All right. So let's see what Legal Eagle has to say about this.
United Healthcare was assassinated on the streets of Manhattan. Police have narrowed the suspects to anyone that had a bad experience with United Healthcare, bringing the total number of suspects to 30 million people.
Oh no!
But the details of this murder are fascinating. On December 4th, 2024, someone shot and killed Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, just steps outside of his Midtown hotel. The timing? Chilling. Thompson was on his way to deliver a briefing to investors on the company's 2025 financial outlook. The killer? Gone in an instant, disappearing into Central Park on an e-bike. That's right, an e-bike. But what makes the story even more bizarre are the clues that the suspect left behind. Surveillance footage from the night before shows
I love that picture.
No signs of nerves at all in this photograph of the grinning man. Then came the shooting. Security video shows the assailant's weapon jamming mid-attack, and instead of panicking, he methodically clears the jam and fire again, hitting Thompson in the leg and the back. And a silencer muffled the shots. As the suspect vanished, he left behind a chilling message. 3 shell casings etched with the words deny, defend, and depose. What does this mean? Is the suspect a man with a grievance against United Health? Is this the work of an amateur who got lucky? Or was this the perfect crime?
Definitely not.
26-year-old Luigi Mangione in connection.
Definitely not an amateur. I don't think they got, definitely not an amateur and not the perfect crime, because I would make an argument that the perfect crime is one that's never found out by anyone, so you can't be held accountable. Or a perfect crime could be a crime committed that no one is able to hold you accountable for, and you could be like, hey, I fucking did it, and there's no way to hold them accountable or prosecute them.
With the murder. More on him in a second. Now, this is a breaking news story, so we can expect the facts to change as we get more information.
Oh, of course.
But here's what we know right now. Now, FYI, in a few seconds, I'm going to show surveillance footage of the shooting. Some of you might find this disturbing, so skip forward now if you prefer not to watch that. As you can see, as Thompson approached the hotel, the gunman fired multiple shots, striking in the back and right calf. After the initial shot, the firearm reportedly jammed, and the shooter cleared the malfunction and continued firing. A witness fled as Thompson stumbled and fell to the ground.
Okay.
The CCTV footage appears to show the gunman had fitted a suppressor, also known as a silencer, to his pistol. Now, silencers are legal in 42 states, but to purchase one legally, you usually have to undergo a background check and pay a transfer tax. That's another.
That way the government can track them, yeah.
But there are 3.5 million registered silencers in the USA. Though it is possible for many people to manufacture a suppressor on their own.
Yep,
and
sure could.
Chief Joseph Kenney said the shooter was comfortable with firearms. Quote, from watching the video, it does appear he is proficient in the use of firearms, as he was able to clear the malfunction pretty quickly. Now, we don't know if this means the suspect was a professional hitman, but the NYPD has not ruled that out. The suspect fled the scene on foot, then used an e-bike to escape, heading north to Central Park. Surveillance cameras captured his movements,
like that.
The NYPD is using facial recognition technology and tracking devices to locate him.
The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack.
The suspect carried a gray backpack that was an older version of the everyday backpack by Peak Design, a bag meant for photographers but designed for casual use. Police found the suspect's backpack in Central Park. It was filled with Monopoly money, and they sent it to the forensics lab.
That's
to be
actually very
processed for
funny.
DNA. The NYPD released several images of the suspect, and in this video you can see him escaping on a bike.
Police tell ABC News the shooter first fled on foot and then got on an electric bike heading north towards Central Park.
And here he is pointing the gun at Thompson.
The masked gunman comes up.
So far, all these details speak to someone who knew what they were doing, planned it out, had an escape route, left bits and pieces at the scene of the crime intentionally. This isn't someone who wanted to get away with it forever, fade into the shadows. This is a person making a statement, thus the words on the shell casings, thus the backpack full of Monopoly money. I believe he ate a meal at McDonald's and then basically called it in that he was the person who did it. So they are sending a message
Behind Thompson and shoots him in the back. Nearby witnesses would later describe the suspect as holding a gun with a silencer. Surveillance footage shows the gunman continuing to shoot Thompson as he walked towards him, stopping to clear a gun jam before firing again.
Now, police believe the suspect stayed at 2 hostels. They obtained a search warrant
Okay,
to search the
81.
Hyde New York hostel. These surveillance photos show the suspect at the front desk of the Hyde New York hostel, which is located in Manhattan's Upper West Side. The police recovered a phone, water bottle, and granola bar wrappers that they believe are linked to the shooter. The shooter purchased the water and granola bar from Starbucks, and police sent both the items to the medical examiner to check for fingerprints. The people immediately started speculating that the homicide was linked to United Healthcare's healthcare coverage decisions, especially since United Health denies the most claims of any healthcare insurer.
Big,
Thompson's
if
wife,
true.
Paulette, told NBC News that he'd received some threats before the shooting, possibly in relation to a lack of healthcare coverage. She said, quote, "I don't know the details, I just know that he said there were some people that had been threatening him." And as Fox Business host Cheryl Casone explains, back in April there was a big protest about claims denied at the company's headquarters in Minnesota.
There was a huge protest. This was about claim denials on patients. I just want to bring this up because these protesters were very organized. This is months ago,
Right.
And they were talking about, look, and his wife has said that there were threats made against him. And again, this is not even 24 hours old, but you just have to throw out there that if you've got emotion, you've got motive. I heard your guest, your law enforcement guest in the A block, money. I think that a lot's going to come out of this investigation.
Now, obviously, if you're going to assassinate a healthcare CEO, you'll want a good lawyer. But if you want a great lawyer, my law firm, the Eagle Team, can help. If you've gotten in a car crash, suffered data breach, especially if you got a data breach letter saying your information might have been leaked, or dealing with a workers' comp or social security issue, we can represent you or help find you the right attorney. It's so important to talk to a lawyer right away so you can maximize your recovery. And by the way, we don't get paid unless you...
And yeah, I don't hate that. Never talk to the police. Always get a lawyer. Make them work for it.
You do, and there's nothing up front. So just click on the link in the description or call the phone number that's on screen right now for a free consultation with my team. Because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle Team. So click below. As we pointed out, this is a rapidly developing story. And
Sure
what
is.
as yet unknown. United Healthcare is currently fighting allegations that it uses AI to deny coverage to patients. These claim denials are a real problem for sick people navigating the American healthcare system,
Yep,
especially for
absolutely.
older people, and it's not wrong to be outraged by these claims. And according to at least one class action lawsuit filed last year, United Healthcare utilized a defective artificial intelligence algorithm to wrongfully deny elderly patients coverage for medically necessary extended care under Medicare Advantage plans. The lawsuit lawsuit claims that United Health used this flawed AI system to override, quote, real doctors' determinations as to the amount of care a patient
yes.
requires to
Let's
recover.
use AI
Plaintiffs
to
say
be
the
even
AI system led
shittier
premature discharge of patients
to
from healthcare
people.
facilities.
I love it.
Now, United Healthcare denied the allegations. The company said the AI tool is not used for coverage decisions, but rather to assist in informing providers about patient care needs.
Assist.
The New York Post recently reported that the Department of Justice was investigating Thompson and other company executives for insider trading. And according to Crain's New York in February 2024, Thompson exercised stock options and sold United Healthcare shares worth $15.9 million.
I bet he did.
Less than 2 weeks before the public announcement of a federal antitrust investigation into United Health Group. And this was Thompson's first stock sale since becoming CEO of United Health in 2021. And then following the disclosure of the DOJ probe, the company's stock price experienced a significant decline.
What?
And the DOJ has not confirmed the
No
insider trading
way.
allegations. However, in November, the Justice Department, along with Attorney Generals of Maryland, Illinois, New Jersey, and New York, filed a civil antitrust lawsuit to block United Health Group's proposed $3.3 billion acquisition of Amedisys, the nation's top home health and hospice service provider. And there's evidence at the scene that the shooting was related to Thompson's job with United Healthcare. Investigators found shell casings inscribed with the words deny, depose, and defend. These terms are associated with insurance industry practices. Insurance industry critics say that the companies use 3 tactics to avoid paying claims: delay, deny, and defend. These strategies are so well known that Rutgers law professor Jay Feynman wrote a book about it, and his correct thesis is that insurance companies systematically deny claims to maximize profits. And one of the shell casings had the word depose instead of delay, which might be a reference to deposing the head of United Healthcare, or it might be related to litigation, where you depose someone when you take their testimony.
Probably
I don't know,
both.
this is just speculation at this point. But the suspect was seen waiting near the hotel entrance before the shooting, and police say this indicates that he'd been tracking Thompson's movements and was aware that Thompson was scheduled to attend a meeting at 8 a.m. on December 4th. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said
that this was a premeditated,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think anyone's going to argue with
The
that.
police released additional surveillance photographs of the man, and the photographs show the suspect in the backseat of the cab and then exiting the vehicle. Police said, quote, Friday, the suspect caught a taxi around 7 a.m., Wednesday on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and took the cab uptown to a bus terminal near the George Washington Bridge, where they believe he may have caught a bus out of state. Although investigators found a cell phone near the scene, they don't yet know if it was the suspect's phone. And the FBI has now joined the search, offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the shooter's capture. And the Atlanta Police Department confirms it is also assisting. Investigators think the suspect boarded a bus in Atlanta about 10 days before the shooting. And meanwhile, the NYPD is slowly and haphazardly searching Central Park, leading some to speculate that they are just using it as an excuse to generate overtime.
Certainly wouldn't be the first time.
$10,000 reward for information leading to the suspect's arrest. And the New York Times reports that 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and he carried a false identification card similar to those alleged to have been used by the shooter at the New York City hostel. The gun is rumored to be a ghost gun, meaning that parts might have been assembled from a 3D printer. And
Not the first case where a ghost gun's been involved. Nancy Brophy, the woman who's now a convicted murderer, she murdered her husband, who was a culinary chef, with a ghost gun. Motivation was money. She made arguments that, oh, the reason why I had a ghost gun was because I was a writer and I like to do a lot of research for the plot points of my book, and one of my characters was using a ghost gun to commit crimes. They didn't buy it. She was also a narcissist who took the stand, and she didn't get away with it, and we love that for her. So it's not surprising that a ghost gun is coming up again.
from parts that were purchased online. And that could explain why the gun jammed after being fired.
Yeah, maybe.
And it was also found with a 3-page handwritten manifesto that showed, quote, some ill will towards corporate America. Now, in New York State, homicide offenses are divided into 2 degrees of murder, first and second degree. Murder in the first degree is the most serious homicide offense. Under New York Penal Code Section 125.27, first-degree murder requires specific aggravating circumstances, such as the victim was a police officer, peace officer, firefighter, emergency medical technician, or other public service, performing official duties, and the defendant knew or should have known the victim's status. The victim was a judge or a witness to a crime, and the killing was intended to influence judicial proceedings. The murder was committed for hire. The murder occurred during the commission or attempted commission of other felonies.
So if those are the only aggravating factors, the first count is not met because he wasn't a judge or a witness, and it isn't influencing judicial proceedings. It's possible this was a murder for hire, but we don't have any info to that yet. And I know nothing about his prior murder conviction. It is possible that these aren't all the aggravating factors for first-degree murder in New York State. So maybe they'll still be able to get it. I think the fact that it was so planned out, the way the crime being committed was like flaunted with the shell casing, with the writing, the Monopoly bag full of money, all of these are speaking to state of mind and intent at the time of committing the crime. So I think it will end up being first, and the facts of the case are cut and dry. More the fact that are they going to be able to find a jury to actually convict him, because I don't think I have a violence small enough to feel bad for a CEO of a healthcare company screwing people over was killed. And that is my opinion. We will see you all back in about a minute or so. Ad break just procced. All right, Meow, and we're back. We're almost ready for Claire.
Including robbery, burglary, kidnapping, arson, rape, sexual abuse, aggravated sexual abuse, or escape. This is the so-called felony murder rule. The defendant had a prior murder conviction. The act was committed in an especially cruel and wanton manner involving torture. The defendant intentionally caused the death of 2 or more persons within a 24-month period, or the murder was committed in furtherance of an act of terrorism. The first-degree murder is classified as a Class A1 felony, and the punishment is 20 years to life imprisonment or life without the possibility of parole. The exact sentence depends on factors like the nature of the crime and the defendant's criminal history. Now, murder in the second degree encompasses the intentional killing of another person without any of the specific aggravating factors required for first-degree murder. And second-degree homicide applies in circumstances where the killer demonstrates a depraved indifference to human life. It encompasses felonies committed during the commission of other crimes like robbery, burglary, or kidnapping. There's also been a lot of speculation, which is mere speculation at this point.
Of course.
Thompson's homicide could have been
No
a
proof
professional
yet,
hit.
though.
And New York law specifically addresses murder for hire under Penal Law Section 125.27, subsection 1A6, where it says, quote, the defendant committed the killing or procured commission of the killing pursuant to an agreement with a person other than the intended victim to
All
commit
right,
the same.
we're
for
almost
receipt
ready for
or
Claire.
expectation of the
We'll
receipt of
finish up
anything
this
that
video,
appears
then we'll
valid
take
from
on
the parties
Claire.
to the agreement, or from a person other than the intended victim acting at the direction of a party to such agreement. So in layman's terms, this is meant to cover a contract killing of someone other than the intended victim. In other words, other than a circumstance of like euthanasia, for example, if you're contracted to kill somebody else, In New York, a person who hires a hitman to carry out a murder is just as legally culpable as the person who committed.
And quite a few states are like that. I remember there was murder for hire in Florida. There was a murder for hire in one of the Carolinas. And they were like, in this state, if you know about it and you failed to prevent the commission of it, you may as well have pulled the trigger in the eyes of the law. The same thing will apply to like getaway drivers in bank robberies and such.
The act. And this person would be called the principal of the first degree. And New York Penal Law Section 20.00 outlines the doctrine of criminal liability for the conduct of another, which is often known as the acting in concert statute. This law states, quote, when one person engages in conduct which constitutes an offense, another person is criminally liable for such conduct when, acting with the mental culpability required for the commission thereof, he solicits, requests, commands, importunes, or intentionally aids such person to engage in such conduct. To decide whether to charge an accomplice as a principal, prosecutors look at whether the mastermind initiated the plan in some way, provided payment for the crime, and orchestrated the events leading to the murder. And the district attorney can charge both the person who commits the act of murder and the person who solicits or pays for it with first-degree murder. Now, if you spent any time on the internet, you've seen that the reaction online has been mixed. United Healthcare generated $281 billion in revenue in 2023, and many people are justifiably angry at the way insurance companies made all that money. The murder prompted some people to share their healthcare horror stories and variations of a popular meme along the lines of, sorry, but my insurance and Medicaid don't cover thoughts and prayers. Or this one, quote, all jokes aside, it's really fucked up to see so many people on here celebrating murder. No one here is the judge of who deserves to live or die. That's the job of the AI algorithm, the insurance company designed to maximize profits on.
And yeah, if I set aside emotion, this is murder every day of the week, and he'll probably be convicted. Who it's done to, it's important, which is why it's showing such a mixed opinion. If this were innocent person, not tied to screwing over people, not tied to record profits for said company screwing over people, it'd be different. So I think that's going to be really important. It's going to influence the jurors. It'll be interesting to see if it ends up being a jury trial at all. Also, there's something to consider that will the CEO's death affect positive change? Because if it does, I could probably see someone making the argument for, oh, the greater good. This had to happen. This was a sacrifice I'm willing to make, but there's no telling if this will affect positive change. And I look forward to this trial, provided they actually make it public. I don't know if New York has public trials, much like Florida and several other states do. For example, in I think it was Indiana, the Delphi case, that was closed to the public. There were 24 seats for the gallery, and it was really hard to get them, and they made you jump through hoops to actually watch the trial at all, and there were no cameras in it. But yeah, I would not be able to be like, yeah, this guy did a crime. Sure, he technically did a crime, but oh no, he murdered a robber baron. Oh man, I gotta vote him guilty. Yeah, no.
Your health and no one else. And in fact, something like this actually happened fairly recently in the influencer murder for hire plot. Last month, a federal judge sentenced an influencer for orchestrating a murder for hire plot. Actually, Grayson is a 35-year-old Dallas-based influencer known for her online business courses.
People aren't hitmen. The more people you involve in your crime, the more likely it is on an exponential level that you're going to be found out.
And she tried to hire a Memphis couple to murder 3 people, her ex-boyfriend, a business rival, and a social media critic. Grayson offered $20,000 for each target, and the Memphis couple feigned agreement but reported her to the FBI. And the jury convicted Grayson of using an interstate facility in commission of murder for hire in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1958. Now, as a reminder, Luigi Mangione has not been convicted of anything. We'll see what other evidence develops.
That's also true. In the U.S., until convicted, they're cloaked in the presumption of innocence, whether you like them or not. That being said, sometimes people are treated differently under that cloak of innocence once again, Delphi, Indiana, Richard Allen was in solitary for at least 13 months prior to the trial, and they absolutely treated him like dog water, and that elicited 61 confessions. And people don't think that, oh, no one who's innocent would confess, so if they're confessing, they must have done it. So it'll be interesting to see how this guy's treated. But the fact that he killed a robber baron and I know he's not technically a robber baron, but it's like naked avarice and greed at the expense of the blood, sweat, and tears of the people that they're denying. Healthcare is a complicated issue. I don't begrudge the company making money, but at the same time, those billions they made to the tune of several hundred billion, I don't think it had to be that much. So it very much eats away at any like sympathy I would feel. Like, of course, I do feel for the family members of this guy, but at the same time, he chose to have this profession. He chose to become a CEO, and there's a certain level of accountability one has to have for their actions.
And what, if anything, we learned about what his motive might have been in this particular shooting. So,
and that's Jover. So that was legal. That's Devin. They cover all sorts of cases. He'll sometimes do a collab with Liz Dye, who is the chaos lawyer. They covered like Trump's election. They've covered various other cases. Rudy Giuliani, Alex Jones, the Sandy Hook, etc. It's nice having lawyers rather than talking heads go over the ins and outs of a case. It's a different perspective than what the layman would have. All right, back to Claire. I feel all right about this, but it may take a few tries. It's a dragon trainer, but it's mostly steel Pokemon. And really gross coverage. It's like a preview of what Lance is in this. So right off the jump, we want to go Bullet Punch. It goes Taunt because I have Taunt. We go Bullet Punch again. No Stealth Rocks, that's huge. Gouging Fire, this is probably Flare Blitz. Well, no. It's probably D-Dance, because it doesn't have anything that can outright kill me. So instead, we're gonna go into... We're gonna go into Meownwell. We get our monster energy. It does a D-Dance. It does a double D-Dance. That is very surprising. I mean, in retrospect, it's not surprising because it knew that it would live the earthquake. Thankfully, we're not dead. Okay, Naganadel 100% outspeeds me. It's got 121 base speed and I only have 87. All right, so we're gonna go into Pangoro because realistically Pangoro already did his job. Okay? We're not gonna be able to outspeed, so we're gonna go Sucker Punch, get some chip damage in. It got the beast boost, but the Pokemon is almost dead. So that's actually kind of huge. We're gonna go for Fake Out. Swaps into Dragonite. We broke Multiscale, but we cannot stay in. We want to go into Iron Hands. We're gonna fake out again. This is a toughie, because if this doesn't kill, weakness policy procs. So I think I'm gonna go Plasma Fist instead. That way we don't proc weakness policy. And then I'm gonna try to go play rough. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, Dragonite down, that's a big deal. Magearna, I'm almost positive we are outsped. It's gonna go random move because I'm below half. So we're gonna go into Meownwell. We died a Flare Cannon, but it gets basically Moxie for special. So instead we're gonna go into Fake Out, Earthquake. It's not Stab, so it isn't gonna die. We're gonna Earthquake again, it's dead. Naganadel. We didn't outspeed, but that's okay, because we have Crabominal with an Ice Shard. And we have, let's see. It's probably going Iron Head. Earthquake would do a lot as well. So we're just gonna go Ice Shard. Ice Shard again. And that's clear on the first try. Love to see it. 8 badges. Level cap is 82. Now we have 2 rival battles to prep for and a bunch of Victory Road. So we will 100% get to Elite Four today. We won't probably start to fight because there's a lot between here and there. Okay, 8. We're going to start prepping for rival battles, but we probably won't actually get to it until after the ad break. VOD friends, lurkers, I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you've enjoyed the Pokemon and the crime coverage from Legal Eagle. We have some new videos of Palace Cats. This is Eve from the zoo in Novosibirsk. This was taken 3 years ago. She's a very beautiful Palace Cat. Love the orangish amber eyes, the orange around the snoot, the pronounced whisker subsystem. She's one of Zelenin Gorsk's wives, and I think she may have given birth this year. Another one of Eve. She's doing a big old stretch. Gotta stay limber. Gotta keep the peats intact. Maybe do some scratching against the tree to keep the nails from growing too long. That looks really comfortable, just like a, you know. And then we have another one of Eve. Love the beautiful tail, very stripy as usual. You see some orange through her coat. These are all taken by Roman Pavlov of Monolization. Monolization's the website. Palace Cats, genealogy of Palace Cats, videos of Palace Cats, zoos that have Palace Cats. It's pretty great. Ads about the proc. I will see you all shortly. All right, Meow, and we're back. We're prepping for the first of 2 rival battles. It's Staraptor, it's King Gambit, Azumarill, Iron Moth, Sneasler, and Blastoise Mega, with Shell Smash no less. Very scary. So for that, I'm gonna go... I think we're gonna go Lilligant. We're gonna max out Lilligant, and we're gonna give it an Ice Berry, and we're gonna try to hit it with like a Fat Leaf Blade, Seed Bomb, whatever else I have that's grass. We have to hold a Yache Berry because Ice Beam's gonna do still 2 times damage. Which, that's 2 times the amount of damage I would like to see. We have Mittens for Azumarill. Iron Hands, I'm pretty sure is going to be outsped by it. No, it would be a speed tie. So realistically, it's going first. Alright, let's look at Lilligant. Let's see what we're missing realistically. Leaf Blade, anything better yet? I think I'll grab Victory Dance, but I don't expect I'll actually be able to land it. I'll keep Recover. I'll nix Sunny Day for now. I'm not bringing a grass type to E4 because there's too much fire, flying, etc. So it would only serve me to basically get past Lorelei. And sadly, we're only 87 speed, so we don't get to outspeed anything. It's the only ground fighting mon, though, so we have to bring it to E4. Okay, let's see what else we need. I think I do bring Gallade. I'll bring Gallade for Sneasler, and it doesn't have a priority move, so I'll get it to Sash, then Shadow Sneak. Okay, Galladite. Iron Hands is gonna get a Citrus Berry. We'll go Fake Out into Plasma Fist. Gallade gotta go up a level. So the only thing that really leaves then is the Iron Moth, which something with ground. I could use Meownwell for that, but Energy Ball's gonna be a problem as well. But then again, so would D-Gleam. Energy Ball's gonna technically do more, I think. So let's bring a backup to deal with Iron Moth in case something happens to Great Tusk. I think I'll go Quavel. I don't know if I'm faster after 1 Aqua Step though. So we're gonna go Rindo Berry because Energy Ball is gonna do more. And we're also gonna give it back Aqua Jet just in case for some reason I don't outspeed. Oh, we can do that. We don't need Defog for this fight. Okay, we can make that work. So we just need to give Meownwell We'll give him a Rindo Berry as well for Energy Ball. Energy Ball does 90, whereas D-Gleam only does 80. These rival fights can be a real doozy. I also don't think there's any fighting types I can actually grab now that the roamers are unlocked, but we're gonna check just in case. Sadly, they locked Mewtwo to post-game. I already used Galarian Zapdos in Mono Flying. There's technically a few I could use, but I'm not bringing Grass to E4. Rock Fighting has too many weaknesses, and I think Steel Psychic suffers from a similar issue. Also, that's not fighting. We already used Keldeo in Water. We already used Melioda in Normal. Okay. Buzzwall's interesting, but we wouldn't be able to get Pheromosa. Let me take a look at Buzzwall. I am curious now. Alright, so it's not very fast. It is very bulky though. That being said, I'm not super stoked about bug fighting because 4 times the flyer, which is pretty common. Fire is pretty common, and that's a 2 times. Psychic's also a 2 times. And it's a beast, so it would be a pain to catch. And I don't think I can think of anyone off the top of my head that it's like, yeah, let's bring in an Ultra Beast for that. Maybe if it were Pheromosa, due to how fast it is. Speed is a huge deal, especially in this. Alright, let's see if we can suss out this fight on the first try. I've had instances where I'm able to do the both rival battles without like really changing my team. But ever since I've been doing the monotypes, that's been a lot harder because the pool of available mons is significantly smaller. Especially since I do try to avoid repeats of mons if given the possibility. So right off the jump, we're gonna fake out into Plasma Fist, Iron Moth. It's probably gonna D-Gleam. I'm gonna go into this is actually a little bit of a doozy. Let's go into Meownwell, the D-Gleam. Double D-Gleam, that didn't really do what I needed it to, sadly. Wave Crash kills. So yeah, next time I'll just go in on that and be like, Lamau, whatever. Let's go back into Iron Hands. Fake out. Okay, we broke Sash. It's my strongest move, so we're just gonna go Plasma Fist. Nice. Blastoise got bleeded. Azumarill, it's a speed tie, but I'm expecting me to lose the speed tie. I didn't lose the speed tie. That's awesome. Love to see it. King Gambit. Drain Punch to get some health back, because thanks to Supreme Overlord, it has like 2 Swords Dances worth of Supreme Joverlord. Drain Punch again. Iron Hands, extremely powerful. I'm so glad I saved him for mono fighting. Now we're gonna get ready for the Brendan fight, which is shenanigans. Because Deoxys, Choice Scarf Jirachi, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Landorus, Mega Sceptile with Mega Sceptile stuff, Galarian Zapdos, and Defiant Shell Smash Huntail. It's all very scary. And of course, the one time you fight with him, he has a garbage team. Then when he's gatekeeping Elite Four, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, my uncle works at Nintendo and he got me this really good team. And it's like, oh, thanks. Thanks. We will have to change the team. I'm not sure how I'm dealing with all of it. We're gonna save because we'll trigger it if we go too far up. I didn't even use Lilligant in that last one. I think I'm gonna keep Lilligant. That'll be for the Huntail. I think I'm gonna get rid of Howard. Let's see what he has. So, probably a Darkmon to deal with Jirachi. I think that'll probably be Pangoro. I can't bring Pangoro into Elite Four though. So if I use a Dark type in Elite Four, it'll have to be Urshifu or Scrafty. I'm gonna bring in Crabominal for Landorus as well. Probably Sash, so I can get a guaranteed move. And I don't think I'm gonna bring Manul for this one. Okay, so he's my only fighting ground type, so that's why he's coming into Elite Four though. Okay. There's a lot of Steelmon that we have to deal with when we get to Lance. I mean, hell, even Brock with Zamazenta, Zacian, and all that good stuff, you know? Alright, so Pangoro, that's for the Jirachi. Crabominal, that's for the Landorus. Okay. Okay. Sash on Crabominal. Pangoro is going to get Assault Vest just to make him slightly tankier. Actually, no. Rare Candy. We'll take a stab at the rival fight, and if we don't beat it by the time the ad procs, we'll pick up after. VOD friends, lurkers, I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a good as you can Tuesday, that things are proceeding along swimmingly. If you celebrate Christmas, that your holiday shopping is almost over. All right, let's take a gander at how this is gonna play out. Pretty sure it has a psychic move, so we're gonna go Papaya, aka we have Payappa at home. Ad's about to proc in a minute. Let's see if we can speed through this. Fake out into Smart. I hate it. Crabominal. Ice Shard, it's 4 times weak. It's enough. Huge. Jirachi goes random move. We're gonna go into Pangoro. We're gonna Sucker Punch. It swaps out because it's a POS. Intimidate, not Defiant. I apologize. This is gonna probably be Shell Smash. So I'm gonna... That's right, I did forget about that. So we're gonna go into Iron Hands. It does a Shell Smash. We're gonna do a Fake Out. We're gonna go Plasma Fist. Huge. We're gonna go into Pangoro. And we'll pick up the fight as soon as we come back from the ad break. See you soon. All right, meow, and we're back. So let's see if we can actually kill this Jirachi or if it's going to swap out because it keeps trying to Zen headbutt my fighting Pokemon and then I swap into a dark type. And it's choice scarved, so it can't do anything against me. Had to grab some more water. It's very important to stay hydrated. All right, so that's fine. Okay, we want to go into... This is gonna hurt no matter what. So I think we go into Iron Hands. We Fake Out. We're not going first. It's okay though. We made Zapdos go to like half health. That's really not that bad. We're gonna come in with the Fake Out again. I totally forgot I don't have an electric move because the last time we used Palma was prior to Surgery Match. So I think I just have to let it die because I definitely screwed up there. On the upside, it's almost dead. So now we can be like Lamau, and it's gonna wanna do probably anything. So Pangoro, It stays in though because it's locked into Iron Head and not Zen Headbutt. So Jirachi down. I think it's gonna go Scale. I think it's gonna go Scale Shot. Yes. Oh, and Bullet Seed. Okay. Huge. So honestly, that's not too bad. We can bring in Crabominal, Ice Shard for the kill. I'm gonna get outsped. When you have two Mon with priority, the one with the higher speed goes first. So this is not ideal. I should have just done this from the jump. Shadow Sneak. Yeah. So Brandon can suck it. That puts us at 85, I think. Yes, 85. So now we just have Victory Road, and then we start prepping for Elite Four. Very pog. Big fan. I was worried this would have taken even longer. That being said, not Elite Four. Victory Road is very difficult. Almost all the trainers are moved, and they usually have a theme. Like, one of the teams is basically all Wish, Protect, Toxic, Stall. Another team is everyone has Sleep Powder except for the Mega Low Punny. It's very much in line with how difficult Rad Red has been prior to this point. There we go. So they start with a Technician, Wide Lens Mousehold, Sharpness Veluza, Shedinja, Sephiroth Ragnarok, aka the Absol Mega, and Galvantula. Also, the Absol, aka Sephiroth Ragnarok, is part fairy. We'll be saving Pangoro for that because Bullet Punch. Probably 2 Bullet Punches, and that will be the trick. Maybe Focus Sash. So let's heal. Let's save. Let's get everyone to 85. No Belly Drum. In my opinion, the game's too hard for Belly Drum, especially since the only priority move I have is Fake Out, which fails if it's used after the first turn. Double Shock is clever because it makes you no longer be an electric type. So if you were going up against ground, be like, oh, Double Shock, shasha, you know? Think I will do that. It'll make me be only fighting. And all the things that come with that. All right, let's see if we can rustle the jimmies of this first trainer. We are gonna lead with Iron Hands, and it's gonna be Fake Out Drain Punch most likely. We grabbed Strength earlier, so we don't have to worry about not being able to move the boulder. It wouldn't be the first time though that it's like, oh yeah, Elite Four. Oh no, I never grabbed the old man's teeth. So yeah, you know. Okay. Careful, I don't want to exit out. Oopsie doopsies. I think this is Poltergeist. If they're holding an item, they get attacked by it. It's kind of funny. And yeah, as you can see, a lot of the trainers have been moved, so there's like 2 or 3 you can skip, and they're not in the docks, but all the ones that are in the docks can't be skipped. At least in this part. There is technically an optional tab, but they're in the docks for a reason, usually because you need to beat them to get something. Let's see if we can make this team work. We saved just before, in case I need a better team. So we fake out right out the jump. We go into Drain Punch. That makes sense. We go into Pangoro. It's sashed. There you go. Galvantula, we want to swap into Mittens. Fake out. This is probably play rough, so I'm just gonna get some chip damage in. Okay. Fake out. Absol is very squishy. Nice. Let's go into Lilligant. Back into Mouse Hold. We're gonna go Drain Punch. We're gonna go Iron Hands again. We're gonna fake out. We're gonna be outsped. We'll go into Lilligant. This is probably a psychic move. No, we got to go first. That's huge. Nice. We go into Iron Hands again. Fake out again. There you go. Lamau, you're dead. All right, save. Next team, we want to lead with someone who has a taunt because we do not want Cyclizar getting Shed Tail. Sadly, Cyclizar is also very fast, so I would need Prankster, or I would need someone who can outspeed 121, which I don't think I have anyone that can outspeed that. So we're probably gonna have to deal with Substitute, sadly. So let's think about how we're getting past this. Let's see if we can make it work. So we fake out. It also has a regenerator, so every time it swaps out and comes back in, it gains a third of its health. That was a misclick. I'm stupid. Okay, we're gonna go Play Rough. Play Rough again. Even through a misclick, we lived. Okay, Hatterene. We're gonna go into Gallade. We're gonna go... Honestly, Night Slash. Because I don't think Shadow Sneak would do enough. Yeah, it would not have done enough. Okay. Fake out. Nice. We outsped. I actually didn't expect that at all. Body Slam. I was low, so it's really not that big of a deal. Substitute. Crobat is up. Not ideal. Yep. That makes way for Crabominal. Crabominal. Mittens with the fake out. Mittens with the Mach Punch. Mittens with the Drain Punch. Oh, this is very scary. Nice. Drain Punch again. Hell yeah, love it. Pawmot, quite good. There's a reason why I also saved it for mono fighting, even though we're not bringing both Iron Hands and Pawmot, so it will end up changing when we get to E4, which we're making good progress, I gotta say. Turns out some of these fighters are very powerful. So yeah, these guys, that little Karate Master right there, we can skip him. We're gonna grab High Horsepower, I think? I didn't read it. So this is the, it's not the sleep team, but it absolutely is gonna try to sleep me. So we're gonna go Safety Goggles. Something worth noting, Safety Goggles does not protect you against Sweet Kiss because it's not a powder. That would have been awkward. Put Crabominal in the front. Save again. Ice Shard. It's not gonna kill. It almost does. There we go. Next is Cloyster. Cloyster has Shell Smash and all the things that entail. So we're gonna take this turn to Go into mittens. We're gonna fake out. We're gonna double shock. That means we can come in with Pangoro and Bullet Punch. This is Mega Pinsir with Aerialate, so it's gonna be Aerialate Double Edge, Aerialate Quick Attack. It's gonna gain Flying, so we're gonna go Ice Punch. Or we're just gonna die, and honestly, there's worse ways to go. So we're gonna go Crabominal. It had Aerialate Quick Attack. I completely glossed over that. My brain was like, oh, Lamau, priority move. So we'll go Fake Out. We'll go Plasma Fist into Donphan, very clever. We'll go Drain Punch. We'll go Drain Punch. That wasn't enough. I needed to go into Lilligant instead. This is 4 times weak. I think I have to let it go down so I can make room for Gallade. Especially since it almost killed itself in a video game. So that worked. This isn't as much because I'm pretty sure it's gonna fake me out. And we did it. Huge. Next team coming up is a sleep team. So I'm gonna want safety goggles and I'm gonna go Sneasler because it's a Blossom Fairy Grass, so it's 4 times weak to poison, and it's got Quiver Dance Moonblast spam. So we'll come in with Sneasler with safety goggles, fake out into a poison jab, we'll set it right as rain. We actually might be able to try taking on E4 today, because I already know who I'm using for E4, so I don't really have to plan. More so I have to plan as I go, rather than trying to set up the team. Obviously, it's not gonna go right on the first try, so it's gonna take some time. But I don't have to be like, oh, what are the 6 I actually want to use, you know? Let's get rid of Lilligant, and we'll bring in Sneasler with the Focus Sash. And by Focus Sash, I mean not the Focus Sash. Also, where are you, Sneasler? All right, Sneasler. Let's make sure to give you safety goggles. Instead of Mach Punch, we'll grab Poison Jab. And by Poison Jab, I mean Dire Claw, because it has a chance to do Poison, Sleep, or Paralyze. So it's basically better Poison Jab. Ad's about to start. We'll take on this trainer as soon as we get back. I'm gonna give a Focus Sash to Crabominal so I can live on 1. We will see you all shortly. right, Meow, and we're back. So we have 3 more double battles to go. A gimmick battle at the end. Then we start prepping for Elite Four. And by that, I'm leaning towards Water Lorelei because I don't feel like dealing with Slush Rush Glaceon and Slush Rush Abomasnow. Then we'll see how far we get. Save one more time for good measure. Fake out. It's probably gonna read Dire Claw and swap. It stayed in. I'm surprised. Vile Plume, we're gonna go Earthquake. I could have learned Ice Punch. In retrospect, that's what I needed to do. We're just gonna keep Earthquaking. Thankfully, I resist because I'm also poison. Okay, Parasect, Dire Claw, it has Focus Sash. Nice. Amoonguss. Sussy Amoonguss. Sussy Amoonguss Baka. Okay, so that's not ideal. Lopunny, we're gonna go into Mittens. We fake out. Oh, I forgot, I think it has Inner Focus. So we're just gonna go Mach Punch. We're gonna go... this is not ideal. Mainly because it's gonna be able to put me to sleep. I think we just go Double Shock. No, he doesn't have Bad Dreams, so he can't put the whole team to sleep. Gallade. We're gonna go Psycho Cut. Very nice. Next is one of the 2 stall teams. We're gonna lead with Gallade, and we're also gonna go Leaf Blade because Sharpness over Night Slash. I think we can make this work without any real tweaks. If we get stuck on this for some reason, we'll make some changes. Okay, it holds on with Sash, because of course it does. I got rid of my priority move. I'm stupid. I think I outspeed. I do not outspeed. All right. Oh, that's right. You can only use it once. I forgot. Actually, I didn't even know that. I thought I'd still be able to use it, but yeah, it failed. So, all right, we're gonna go Iron Hands. We're gonna go Fake Out. We're gonna go Plasma Fist. We're gonna go Plasma Fist. We're gonna go Plasma Fist. Extremely powerful. All right. Next is one of the stall team, the second stall team, the actual stall team. It's Oopsie Doopsie, Stealth Rock, Wish, Protect, Seismic Toss. Soft boiled, very annoying. So we're gonna leave with Sneasler. Instead of Safety Goggles, we're gonna go Taunt, so we can prevent Stealth Rocks from going down. And we'll go... I think we're gonna go Weakness Policy. And instead of Earthquake, we're gonna go Mach Punch, so I have a priority move. That reminds me I need to put Shadow Sneak back on Gallade. Oh, it's a Egg Tutor. Well, we're not gonna have it then, because I'm not going all the way back to Fuchsia. All right, let's make this work. Oh, that's right. Did I actually give it? I did not give it Taunt. This is unpleasant. Shite. I guess we're just gonna give Gallade Taunt. And we're not gonna have Night Slash. So we'll do it like this, we'll do it like that, we'll do it with a Wiffle Ball bat. Save. Go team. Alright, no Stealth Rocks. We're probably gonna get hit with a Fire Blast though. Oh yeah, it does have Moonblast. So Moonblast, Stealth Rocks, Fire Blast, and something else. This is Wigglytuff. Honestly, not that bad. Fake out. Close combat. Close combat. Close combat. Close combat. Ah, the protect. Poison. Fake out. Nicely done. So yeah, it turns out fighters are extremely powerful. Knuckle Sandwich is OP. Please nerf. This is a Nido King and a Nido Queen. It's not in the docks because it's one of two like joke battles. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Awesome. All right, nicely done. Then, even though the upcoming one is technically like a gimmick battle, I've seen someone have their Nuzlocke wipe because they weren't paying attention and they lost to the gimmick. The gimmick is, it's 5 level 250 Shed Ninjas all holding Focus Sash. And it's a Gigalith with Sandstream. So the idea is the Gigalith explodes, Sandstream is up, so when the Shed Ninjas use Supercell Slam and either hit or miss, the Sandstream finishes them off. So you can absolutely lose to it, but as long as you're paying attention, it's like, oh yeah, bring someone who won't die to the explosion and then protect and or have someone who's going to be able to live. And it's a non-issue outside of that. So I'm legit gonna protect the first turn so I don't have to deal with the explosion. And we're not bringing Gallade into this because I used Gallade, I believe, in Mono Psychic, and I need Mega Blaziken because I wanted to save Blaziken for this rather than using it in Mono Fire, in which I used Infernape. And then we're gonna go Night Slash because Dark is effective against the Shed Ninjas. And it will be that instead of Leaf Blade. Save. Let's run it back. And then you want to save outside of Indigo Plateau because once you go in, the Lorelei you get is locked into place. So I used to watch someone who did mono types of this. They did Mono Dragon first. They did not know that if you don't do that, you're locked into it. So they were locked into Ice Lorelei as Mono Dragon, and it was very hard for them. So I always save outside of it so I can fish for the Lorelei I want. Most of the times I go Water Lorelei. I've gone Ice Lorelei, I think, once, and that was Mono Fire. Alright, Supercell. So and Supercell's the dev. So we protect. That's why the fight's called Dumbass Creator. So we eat that. We die. Feels bad, but it kills itself in a video game. Okay. Nice. Haha. So we had 2 mon left. We beat Dumbass Creator. Supercell Slam isn't bad, but it's 95 accuracy, which means it can miss. And if it isn't 100% accuracy, it's 50% accuracy. We save. Let's see what we got. I've decided I'm gonna go for Water Lorelei. I don't want to deal with Slush Rush Pokemon, aka Double Speed, and I don't want to deal with Calyrex or Glastrier. So you talk to this guy and he tells you what Lorelei has. All right, Water Lorelei. So let's start prepping for Water Lorelei. I already know the 6 Pokemon I'm using. We just have to figure out the best configuration for them with moves, etc. The scariest thing for me with Rain Lorelei is Swampert because of Swift Swim, and I have no way to get rid of the rain, and Kyogre. We're likely leading with a Fake Out Mon and a Flying Mon because I want to dual Wing Beat the Ogerpon to death. So what did we write down? Let me see if we can actually find the list that I was using. Okay. I have like a flex slot, so technically that's something I'm gonna have to consider. We're not bringing in Pangoro. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't because we used it in Mono Dark. I'm thinking about bringing Crabominal because Ice is 4 times against Dragon Flying, which Lance has 2 of, minimum. Iron Hands is 100% coming in. There's no question about that. Gallade, no. Sadly, Mittens, you did some work. But Iron Valiant being a Iron Hands being a Paradox Pokemon, very strong, very bulky, has a similar moveset. Not as powerful because it doesn't have Iron Fist, and I would have to have an Electric Terrain setter or manually set Electric Terrain to trigger that. So the core of the team is Blaziken. We're missing one. Walucha, right. I was initially going to use Galarian Zapdos, but I forgot I used that in Mono Flying. So we have to use Walucha instead. And Walucha's good, but Walucha is not as strong as Galarian Zapdos. So that leaves 1 slot open, and that's basically the flex slot. I have to figure out what that's gonna be. I'm gonna stick with special attack Blaziken, because a lot of the enemy I need to deal with Blaziken are bulky on the physical side. So instead of trying to punch through all that physical defense, we're just gonna go special. That also allows me to go Hidden Power Grass for the Swampert as a fallback if like things go awry and I need to use that, you know. And then I would probably go either Focus Sash or Air Balloon or Shucka. Probably Focus Sash because Air Balloon doesn't protect me from Waterfall. Shucka doesn't protect me from Waterfall. We're gonna work on the team. The ad break's gonna go in about 20 seconds. I hope you've all been enjoying the stream so far. I hope you're staying hydrated, that you've been able to grab some food, that you're done with adulting for the day, and we will be back shortly. See you all in a bit. All right, now, and we're back. I had to get a Dusk Stone for Urshifu. I decided that's the filler slot that I'm going to use, mainly because it'll give me coverage against some Psychic. It will be a problem for Fairy, but believe it or not, there's actually not a lot of Fairy outside of Zacian. So that's handy. And then we'll try to avoid getting the Flutter Mane team that Agatha has, because Fairy 4 times weak, not ideal. And then we need to go to, what's it called? We need to go to Saffron because we want to give Hidden Power Grass to Blaziken. That way I have a grass move for Mega Swampert. And Swampert is physical, so that's another reason why I wanted to go Special Blaziken. Okay. Without multiple speed boost stacks, Blaziken isn't even that fast either. So it's gonna be hard to leverage him if I don't get to like stay in for multiple turns, you know? Okay, so since we're not really gonna be able to leverage any fire moves in this fight because it's, you know, water, we're gonna go Vac Wave. We have probably not. We're going to go Will-o-the-Wisp so we can debuff some enemies, and because I'm fire, it'll never miss. I just had to figure out where Willow is. I know I grabbed it, so unless I didn't for some weird reason, which I'm pretty sure I did. Let's look at it this way. There it is. It was 61, so I apologize. Alright, so Hidden Power Vacuum Wave will nix the Flamethrower, and that basically leaves one slot open as like a pivot or something. We'll come back to that. Let's take it to the move tutor in Saffron and not Saffron. Well, there are two. There's one in Saffron and there's one, but I meant the Fuchsia one. In fact, let's see what else Blaziken can learn. That would be useful for this fight. And we need to hold a berry or leftovers, so this is not Mega Blaziken either. Okay, so what else do we have? Aura Sphere's not bad, but I already have Vac Wave for priority. In this fight, Defog doesn't do anything. Oh, that's right, I wanted Sunny Day to see if I could have the opportunity to set weather. So I might go Sash in order to do that. Okay, so we're gonna save. We're gonna pop on over to Cinnabon because that's where the weather tutor is. Problem is, if we try to set Sun before Kyogre's dead, Kyogre's just gonna come in and override. And we don't have any natural weather setters, you know? It's a weird set, but we need to make it work until we're past Lorelei. Okay, so I have to figure out how I'm leading. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Iron Hands and Walucha. The item needs to be used up, so it will probably be a berry. Let's start looking at Indigo League. Okay, it could, when I think about it, we wanna fake out the Ogre Pawn, and then we wanna kill it, because by default it's 110. I don't know if Halucha is faster. Halucha is faster. Okay, so then the real question is Dual Wing Beat enough to kill? I don't know. Dual Wing Beat really needs to kill, and I don't know if it will. I think if I fake out, it will. I don't think it will kill it on its own because Halucha only has 92 attack. So yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll hold a Ice Berry because there's a bunch of ice moves. I was hoping Dual Wing Beat could kill it on its own, because then that means I can have Fake Out or Plasma Fist on a different Pokemon. Okay. So Yachi Berry for Halucha. Iron Hands. I know that doesn't seem like a big thing, but I'm going to be using Assault Vest most of the time. Okay, so let's keep looking. Hurricane will be neutral. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be neutral except for Play Rough and Earthquake. So I am very likely going Assault Vest. You know what? I will go Adamant just to make sure I do more damage. We'll have to rely on Assault Vest doing a heckin' carry, you know? So that's gonna be Fake Out, Play Rough, Drain Punch, Plasma Fist. I think that we can make that work. Hot Wings. Since we're gonna be with that, we're actually gonna go Modest. Okay. Halucha. That's fine. That needs to change. I'll keep the U-turn, but Defog has to go. I feel like it's gonna be able to get bulk up. Let's go to Fuchsia and check. It does get bulk up. Okay, so that is Fuchsia. It's the tutor that is, what's it called? To the right of Fuchsia, there's a transit area. And it's got all the buff moves like Swords Dance, Calm Mind, Meteor Beam, etc. Pokey Rider. I went past it. Yeah, that would do it. I'm glad we actually are getting to Elite Four today. I was worried that I wouldn't. So at the very least, we'll get the start against it, you know? So yeah, bulk up for Halucha. Instead of Defog, we can always relearn Defog if we need it. Drain Punch for Sustain. Dual Wing Beat. I might want to throw Thunder Punch on it because there are a lot of Watermon in this fight. Yeah, I think we'll do that instead of U-turn. We can always get U-turn back. Okay. So that gets the job done, as does Iron Hands. Very good. Hot Wings. This is for Weather / Swampert. It's probably gonna be Focus Sash. Manul, it's a lot of water and it's a lot of ice. This is going to be difficult, since so much of it is, you know, major damage. Okay, we're gonna keep those. And I think we're gonna go Iron Head for the last one, because there is some ice in here that I have to deal with via Iron Bundle. I don't think I'm ever gonna get to land the thunder punch, but I want to at least have it. So that's gonna be Hasso Berry because water. Okay. Urshifu is probably gonna get Citrus Berry for generic healing. Crabominal is very squishy. I don't think there's any other good tutor moves I can give it, because I already have Mach Punch and I already have Ice Punch. And by Ice Punch, I mean Ice Shard. Okay. Yeah, no. We want ice coverage, that's why we're going with this. So I think I'm just gonna go Citrus Berry for some extra health, provided I live like any one hit, which I may not. Alright. Alright. Right. Let's get rid of Taunt, bring in Iron Head for the Iron Bundle. We'll revisit that when we come do it, you know. Okay. Crabominal, and then Urshifu. So Urshifu, 97. I mean, I'm gonna have Sucker Punch, so it matters slightly less that I'm not that fast. I have to remember where it is. I might grab Scope Lens, because my Wicked Blows will do more damage. Let me figure out where Scope Lens is while this ad procs. The ad's gonna go in about 40 seconds. Okay. Oh, it's in Mount Moon. I know exactly where that is. So we're gonna go get that while ad procs, grab some water, grab some snacks. I hope you've been enjoying the stream so far. When we come back, we're gonna look at a few more Palace Cats. Then we're gonna bash our head against the wall that is Rad Red Elite 4. All right, Meow. Gonna look at some more Palace Cats. We're gonna break into the emergency stash of Meownwell because we looked at all the quote-unquote new ones that were on the website today. This is a rare Meownwell from 1984. I want to say Adelaide, Australia. Very floofy. Giant Pete's. Well-developed whisker subsystem with a chunk of unknown flesh. Very adorable. Super cute. Remember, these things fully grown are only 4 to 5 kilograms. So while it looks large, it's not really that big. It's literally 1984. I do like that. We also have, let's find another one. Here we have a relatively young bull. I don't know how old he is, but he's sitting on his stump and he looks a little concerned, a little shook. Something definitely caught his eye, but I love the white socks. I love his tuft of white fur under the chin. Relatively wide open eyes. He's a fine specimen. Truly one of God's finest creatures. We're gonna have like 2 or 3 more after this one. So let's see what else we have. This one, it is quite tiny. I'll see if we can zoom in a bit. It was a mother Palace cat and her kittens taken in 1979 in China. They got the giant boots with the fur. The mother's doing a mlem. The kittens, there's at least 3 kittens in the background. Most of them are not having it at all. But love me some Palace Cats. China tends to be pretty closed off and secretive. So I'm glad we got to see this rare glimpse into Meownwell from so long ago. Let's look at one more. That's Grusha, taken by Palace Cats 114. Probably doing a bit of a stretch, a little bit of a sand bath. You can see the beans, very high detail. He's such a beautiful boy. We love Grusha. Grusha is Russian for pear. Such an adorable pink little nose. I want to boop it. Also, I did never change the level cap. It needs to go to 85 now. We're gonna throw our head at the wall that is Elite 4, and we'll see how far we get today. Sometimes I get stuck at Lorelei for an hour, if not more. Other times I'm fine until I get to any of the other subsequent leaders, and then I gotta bash my head against the wall. One time I was able to get to rival with the initial team I made, rebuild the team because I couldn't get past one Pokemon that rival had. Big sad. Here's hoping this is not that. I feel like Iron Hands and several other Pokemon I have are really strong, so I don't think I'll get stuck, but that's Swampert and the Mon to have Hurricane, which I think Walking Wake's at least one of them. It's gonna be an issue. I may have to pivot and bring a water type just to take neutral damage and then resist fire later on. All right, moment of truth. Save one last time. Go team. So right off the jump, we are going to dual wing beat the Ogre Pawn, and we're going to fake out the Ogre Pawn. I don't think dual wing beat is enough to kill on its own. Wow, that's a problem. Okay. All right, that's a reset. It does not do enough damage. We have to sharp beak this. We have to sharp beak, which means we're also gonna have to go to limber, so we can't be paralyzed. Oh, that is disappointing, but one does what they have to. Yeah, we have to go sharp beak here. Sharp beak increases flying damage. I mean, base 92 damage. It wouldn't have been enough. Let's see if we can make this one be better. Same thing as before. We want to dual wing beat. We want to fake out. Okay, good. Ogre Pawn down. The burn. I may have to reset until I don't get burned. We're gonna Thunder Punch. We're gonna play rough. Or we're just gonna die. Okay. Urshifu. We're going to Sucker Punch the Walking Wake. We're going to play rough the Walking Wake. All right, I'm gonna reset. Hope we don't get the burn on Iron Hands. And we're gonna do a Flying Berry for Urshifu. All right. We just have to figure out what they need to be holding and then what the right sequence of events is in order to get past the boss. Dual wing beat, fake out. No burn, that's huge. This is probably gonna be Hurricane, and I'm gonna regret my life choices. We're gonna play rough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to swap Walking Wake out. Not Walking Wake, I'm gonna have to swap Halucha out for that one. Okay, we're gonna go Sucker Punch on Walking Wake. We're going to Plasma Fist the Politoad. Okay, good. Walking Wake down, that's a big deal. No burn yet, we love that. In comes Iron Bundle, in comes Kyogre. We are gonna go Sucker Punch on Kyogre. I really wish I had more priority than fake out, but it's all I have. Not bad. I really needed that Hydro Pump to miss. Okay. Now things start getting dicey, as it were, because I am not in the position I would have liked with so many Mon dead. Okay. It has a focus sash, so it doesn't really matter how much I do to it. I think we're gonna go close combat, and we're gonna go Thunder Punch. Okay, so I might have to swap out Iron Hands and save Iron Hands for Kyogre. So we're gonna reset. All right. I may have to do that. All right. Dual wing beat, fake out. Awesome. We didn't get burned. We're gonna swap into Crabominal. We're gonna swap into... Ow. That's annoying. Urshifu. Not ideal. let's see. Oh, I forgot it has photosynthesis, so even if I get rid of the weather, I can't do that until I get rid of Walking Wake. Okay. Get rid of Sash. Give it a Paso Berry. For now. I think I'm gonna Sash the Crabominal to get a Thunder Punch. Alright, let's run that back. We're gonna keep doing this until we get there. Dual Wing Beat and Fake Out. Awesome, love to see it. No burn from Scald. Sadly, we are gonna be outsped. We're gonna swap into Crabominal. We're gonna swap into Urshifu. Oh, the burn and the confusion. Okay, that's not happening. The burn is too much damage. The burn itself is too much damage. Then the fact that it reduces your attack by 30%. Okay. I'm gonna see if... No, because otherwise it's gonna outspeed me. So it has to be faked out each time. Oh, the burn again? Burn is cringe. You hate to see it, truly. Thunder Punch and play rough. Yeah, I cannot get burnt. You lose like 30% of your attack on a burn. So we're basically just gonna keep resetting until we don't get burnt. 10% chance to burn my ass, you know? Okay, good. Hawlucha is sadly gonna die, so I think we have to let it go down. We play rough the Walking Wake. Oh, and we got burnt again. This looks like another reset. Okay, nice. Actually, I'm gonna try to get the Sunny Day off. Iron Hands is dead. Yeah, we didn't get it. But at least we got some damage in on the other Mon. So we're gonna go Meownwell, and we're gonna go Crabominal. Oh, I do not love this. Ugh. Swampert is such an issue. Oh, it just does not do enough damage. So, I feel like that's technically progress, but it's definitely not what we need to see. Okay. I'm really opposed to bringing in a grass type because grass is gonna get destroyed 4 times by flying. Okay. We're gonna run it back again and see how this one goes. There is a sequence of events that will let us get there. I'm just not sure what it is yet. Yeah, I think that's gonna probably be a reset. You hate to see it. Also, Hawlucha might not be the answer, because while Hawlucha is helping me kill the other thing, it helps kill Ogerpon, and then it does nothing. So it's like, Alright, Ad is gonna proc. We'll be back in a bit. we're back. All right, we swapped out Halucha because realistically it's not doing anything. So we're gonna grab Slitherwing, which has multi-scale, reduced damage at full HP. We're going to teach it Trailblaze, so I have a second grass move. It has First Impression, which I think between Fake Out and Slitherwing's First Impression, that's good. The problem is it's 4 times weak to flying, so it doesn't really solve anything, which is a concern. Will get rid of Earthquake instead of Superpower. What can I put there? No. Let's see what else it has. This is always a doozy, trying to figure out how to beat Lorelei without putting oneself in a position where they cannot beat Rival or Lance. Crabominal might also have to go because while 4 times weakness because of ice is really good for some of Lance's mon, it's kind of a dead fish in this fight, in the next fight, in the next fight. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle that either. Nah, I think I'll keep Superpower. Actually, let's see if it learns Close Combat. I feel like it definitely would because the the Blaine fight has a 1 with Close Combat. Okay, so we're gonna lead with that. Slitherwing has priority because of First Impression. Iron Hands is still gonna Fake Out. This sadly doesn't change anything regarding the Walking Wake, so we have to swap out Slitherwing after it's done and get someone else in there. I have an idea. If it turns out the weak link ends up continuing to be Crabominal. Alright, let's run this back a few times. We want to First Impression, we want to Fake Out. Nice. Okay, no burn. Slitherwing is gonna pivot into Crabominal. Iron Hands is going to play Rough Walking Wake. Of course, the Hydro Pump doesn't miss. Of course, we get burnt. Ice Shard, the Walking Wake. Bring in Hot Wings. Okay. Iron Hands and Slitherwing because we both have priority moves. Fake Out. First Impression. Okay, in comes Kyogre. Iron Hands is dead. So we're gonna go into Urshifu and honestly, I'm gonna go Trailblaze. Not ideal. Okay. Fake Out the Kyogre. Manuel. Plasma Fist and close combat. So yes, that is sadly not the answer. So we're gonna try a few more times. I am feeling more confident that I am going to have to get rid of Crabominal. That burn certainly didn't help. First impression, fake out. Awesome. No burn. Swap into Crabominal. Play rough, the Walking Wake. Okay, not the worst thing in the world. Let's see. Ice is neutral. We're gonna go Mach Punch because fighting moves are boosted. I'm gonna try to get some health back against the Politoed. Nice. Walking Wake down. No burn. Love to see it. Okay, Swampert's coming in. We're gonna go Mach Punch. This is probably Earthquake. So I'm gonna pivot into Urshifu. Okay. Okay, we're gonna fake out. We're gonna Sucker Punch. We want to get rid of that focus sash that Iron Bundle had. We want to swap out Iron Hands because we're about to eat an Earthquake. We're going to... I don't think I live. So we're going to Sucker Punch the Swampert. This is better, but I may have to go... I may have to go Shaka and hope that the Swampert just doesn't switch to Waterfall Liquidation. We're gonna go into Iron Hands, we're gonna go into Slitherwing. We have priority moves, which is a big deal. We're going to Fake Out, we're going to First Impression. So we might get there on this one. I'm not sure. I don't wanna count my chickens. Okay, Kyogre. We have a chance. We're going to Plasma Fist. We're going to Trailblaze. We certainly had a chance. All right. So, I feel like that's winnable. That's the closest we've gotten. I don't think we need to get rid of my Crabominal just yet. If we keep getting stuck at Kyogre, we'll then get rid of Crabominal. But we almost got there, so I don't hate that. Also, something I could do is I could bring in Toxicroak because dry skin makes him immune to water. That way I'm bringing in someone without having to bring in a water type or a grass type. Okay, so First Impression, Fake Out, no burn, swap out Slitherwing into Crabominal, play rough, the Walking Wake, Mach Punch, the Walking Wake, Drain Punch, the Politoed. Okay, progress. This is probably Earthquake, so we're gonna Mach Punch the Swampert. We're gonna swap into Hot Wings. Okay. We're gonna come in with Iron Hands. Fake out Swampert. Vac Wave Swampert. Not ideal. Okay, we're going to Sucker Punch the Kyogre. We're going to First Impression the... No, let's do that backwards. Sucker Punch the Kyogre. First Impression the Swampert. Because I don't think Sucker Punch kills. Oh, neither do. Well, that's a huge problem, but okay. We're getting there. That was worse. We're gonna give it one more shot, then we're gonna find someone to raid, and we will pick this up where we left off for tomorrow. We went from not being able to beat Lorelei to almost being able to beat Lorelei. That counts as progress in my opinion. Okay, First Impression, Fake Out, swap into Crabominal. Oh, that's a low roll. I don't think this is gonna kill. Yeah, it's not gonna kill. All right, so this is a worse position than before. We're going to First Impression Walking Wake. We're going to Drain Punch Politoed. Or not. We're gonna try that again because that one doesn't count. It went worse than before with the damage roll, so. First Impression. I'm actually gonna try something different. Okay, so no, Ogre Pawn has to be faked out because First Impression does not do enough damage. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let's see if it does this way. Adamant. If it does this way, then that means I don't have to fake out the Ogre Pawn, which means I can just fake out the Politoed. First Impression, fake out. Okay, good. We can make that work. We want to swap out into Crabominal. We want to play rough the Walking Wake. Not ideal. We want to bring in Slitherwing again. We're going to First Impression the Walking Wake. We're going to Plasma Fist the Politoed. Okay. I don't hate it. Kyogre's a huge problem though. I'm pretty sure Water Spout's just gonna fucking kill me. So we're gonna try the Trailblaze and try the Plasma Fist. Yeah, it just fucking kills me. Okay, so I hate that for us. That means I'm gonna have to sacrifice some Pokemon to preserve the ones I need, you know? All right, so I think we may have a way forward, but we will pick this up where we left off tomorrow. VOD friends, lurkers, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for stopping by. I very much appreciate that. Also, it occurs to me that I'm not taking advantage of booster energy, so let's do exactly that before I forget, and then we're also going to change our nature. There you go. Adamant. We're going to save. I may end up swapping out Crabominal for a different Pokemon, mainly because it would be another fake out mon, and it would also be immune to water. So let's actually make that change now before we forget. All right. VOD friends, lurkers, thank you everyone who stopped by. We're going to pick it up where we left off tomorrow. The change I'm making is we're swapping out Crabominal for Toxicroak. Toxicroak has dry skin, so any water move will heal it. Sucker Punch fake out, Drain Punch for sustain, and Bullet Punch for yet another priority move. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I stream every Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. Eastern. Pokemon, Palace Cats, and crime coverage. We covered Legal Eagle's short video on the United Healthcare CEO assassin and how realistically, first degree murder every day of the week, not a hard case to prove. The hard part's gonna be, in my opinion, finding enough people who will actually convict him, considering you could probably throw a stone and hit someone who has been screwed over by a greedy insurance company in America. And CEOs are like at the top of the top for reviled within corporate. So that's gonna be a fun one, as it were. We are gonna find someone to raid now. We will pick this up tomorrow. I don't love that we didn't get past Lorelei, but I suspect with this change, aka Toxicroak with dry skin, we'll be able to handily take down Lorelei. The thing I'm concerned about is now when we get to Lance, I don't have any ice. And I don't have any ice priority. So Salamence and not Dragapult, Dragonair are gonna be, Dragonite are gonna be very scary, even more so than usual. Let's find someone to raid and pay the love forward. Something to that effect. Also, shit, let me make sure I actually saved. That'll bug me if it turns out I didn't save. We did save. Okay, good. That's what matters. We'll save again. Very good. All right, let's find someone to raid. Who is on? Who's playing Pokemon? Ah, okay, this will work. It happens though. Don't worry about it. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by. You've been great. We will get through this, and it is gonna be okay.